Hello, this is Steve with the Free Bullion Investment Guide. Today is January 26th. I am doing a review and outlook for silver. This is silver's daily chart. In my last video from last weekend, dated on the 19th, I had a rising expanding wedge in the silver chart as well as a falling expanding wedge. Now, I had also stated in my last video that the price of silver looked to be cresting in the MACD and the RSI, and I expected it to continue to fall in price and breaking the rising expanding wedge to the downside, which was expected because it is a negative pattern, and then continue to trade inside the falling expanding wedge, which is a positive pattern. However, that didn't happen. The price of silver did fall. It fell and then started to skirt along the bottom of the trend line of the rising expanding wedge, and it did break it. Didn't break it convincingly, but you could still call it confirmed because it was expected to break it to the downside. It closed below it on Thursday, and then Friday it opened below it and then moved up, and in its move up it broke and confirmed the falling expanding wedge, which is a positive pattern for silver. So in breaking the falling expanding wedge, I could extend it out and put it on that closing price there, but I do not like to make patterns on closing prices. If it was a high, it is a bullish candle, but if it had a high, an extended high to it, I would definitely, I would look to it as to making a, but it barely has one. And I tell you what, we'll leave it and we'll see what happens with it. We'll leave both patterns in it because the price of silver did fall below the rising expanding wedge, and it did also confirm the rising expanding wedge, but it can also still be drawn as well. I usually don't, but you can see that it has a small, or does it? It doesn't have a small top to it. I'm not, it would be going against my normal way I do my charts, so I am not going to show the falling expanding wedge on the chart for silver anymore. I will keep the rising expanding wedge. We did find a new support level for silver at the 1525 level, and 16 continues to be resistance. Now, the reason why silver broke to the top so convincingly through the falling expanding wedge and on higher was because of a news article that came out from the Wall Street Journal that said that we should expect a more dovish Fed in the future. They have a meeting on January 29th and 30th. And basically, the article stated that we shouldn't see interest rates being hiked up anymore, at least in the near future, and that other dovish outlooks that the market could see as far as forward guidance and other things that the Fed takes care of. But however, it was mostly on opinion and speculation, and either way, it made traders happy enough to lift gold and silver, for that matter, well above normal expectations. And as far as in a one-day movement, silver moved nearly 50 cents, 43 cents in one day. That's a heck of a move up. So anyways, for silver's future outlook, it looks like it will probably move sideways until the Fed meeting on Wednesday. And then whatever the statement that Jerome Powell and the rest of the FOMC release, then then it's anyone's guess as to which way the market will interpret what he says and what the statement says, and how gold and silver will move after that. So most likely, I don't see any other patterns in the chart. I'm not going to draw that falling expanding wedge simply because I don't like putting a trend line on a close unless it's an established one where other trend lines can be used with it, and that can't be done right now, so I'm not going to do it. But anyways, no other patterns can be found, so I'm going to stick with what I got here. We'll expect sideways movement till Wednesday, excuse me, and then we'll have to see what happens after the statement. So until that time comes, I will most likely post a new video next weekend, unless this pattern is either broken or a new pattern takes form. So thank you for your time. Take care, and God bless.